let's go talk about this last fight. Here, let me play it from right here. I
had to make counters, but I ended up coming out on top. And my message to Mexicans out there is that I thank them very much. Thank you for your support. It was a hard-fought victory, and I'm very thankful with all of you.
Hold on, guys. If you wait for the mic, and then by all means, go ahead.
Andy, aquí Gonzalo Alvarado de CNN en español. Felicidades.
Gracias.
Andy, en el segundo y séptimo round, mirábamos que ya tenías la victoria y ahora sí ya en los guantes, básicamente. En la conferencia de prensa que diste previo a la pelea decías que no iban a llegar al 12º round, que se iba a definir quizás antes del 12º round. En el segundo round, tenías todos los elementos ahí para doblegarlo y llevarte la victoria. ¿Qué pasó ahí? ¿Por qué no hubo esa definición completa?
Pues yo no pensé que todavía estaba muy...
Either way, I was going to come out with a win. That's what.
Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV. First, congratulations on your victory tonight. Well
Thank
fought,
you.
Andy. You and Ortiz both. Andy, after the fight, I met up and talked to Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder said basically that he was recognizing that all roads look like they're leading to you and him locking horns, and he welcomes the challenge. How open are you to fighting Deontay Wilder, and will you be cheering for him on the 15th?
Of course, man. That's one of the dream fights that I always had, just like Ortiz, and it's just another step closer to get that WBC belt that I always been praying and wishing for. And you know, thanks to God, we got this victory. Hopefully, he gets his victory in October, and we can make this fight happen. He's under Al Heyman just like me, so it's a fight where it could be easily made. And I'm ready, man. I want to stay busy. I want to go straight to the gym again because, like I said, I didn't feel at my 100%, but we got the victory.
I think it's safe to say that they're already building it up. That if Deontay Wilder beats Robert Helenius, which he should, Robert Helenius has a jelly belly. Robert Helenius has a jelly belly, not a jelly belly, a jelly chin. And I feel that once he touches his chin, that he's going to go down. Robert Helenius may be winning the fight on the cards, but then once he gets touched, like, he's going to go down. Here's what Deontay Wilder had to say during an interview when he was in the ring.
The Bronze Bomber in the ring, shaking hands with Andy Ruiz's son here is Heidi Androl.
To the ring, I have a feeling you have something to say to Mr. Ruiz.
I mean, it was a great fight. It was a hell of a fight, and this is what all the fans came to see, a magnificent fight, and that's exactly what these guys gave you, a great fight. So that right there deserved all the respect. And, you know, the gameplay, I always have love for Ortiz because we shared the ring and what we're doing for our daughters and the situation that we was in. You know, I always have love for him. And he came with a game plan, and it seemed like he executed the game plan. And much love to him, and, you know, we wish nothing but the best for him moving forward.
Is that the fight you would want next should you be victorious on October 15th?
Now, they wouldn't do this if they didn't plan on making the fight. They wouldn't be having him in the ring and, you know, come on, you've seen this happen before. They wouldn't having them be confronting each other in the ring if the fight wasn't going to happen. They even did it for Manny Pacquiao, Errol Spence.
I mean, Deontay Wilder's back. You know, he always looking for great, exciting fights. That's what he loved to give the fans. So if that's what lined up next, I got to handle the business. After that, man, we can get it on.
We'll be looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Deontay. Brian, back to you.
So, Andrew Ruiz wants to fight. Deontay Wilder wants to fight. They're both under the same promotional banner. They're both having a pay-per-view, you know, on the same network, just 5 weeks apart. They're on the same timeline. You know, and both of these fighters command pay-per-view purses. They're not fighting nobody else. We're not going to see Deontay Wilder fighting Alexander Usyk. We're not going to see Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. They already have it set. And PBC is trying to get a new deal with Fox, or maybe trying to get a new deal with Fox, and maybe they holding this as the carrot over the network. Like, look, I know we had a bad few years, but we got, Wilder Ortiz for you. Wilder Ruiz for you, This fight is happening. Robert Helenius is good. Okay, he's all right. He's got a nice skill set. But once you touch his chin, it gets real ugly. And I think that he may have a good few rounds, and then he's going to go to sleep. And I am not a fan of fighters fighting sparring partners, let alone, I'm talking about long-time sparring partners, let alone a sparring partner on pay-per-view. I'm really disgusted that they had Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin on pay-per-view to start off this year. And then Luis Ortiz headlines a pay-per-view, but then Charles Martin fights on the fucking YouTube stream in an empty arena. Y'all just basically just told us he wasn't a pay-per-view fighter in the first place. So I get it. Deontay Wilder gets a lot of money under contract with PBC. Rumors are he's owed some money, so, they got to put him on pay-per-view, put him in against a side versus a what side is Robert Helenius? He's like a D side, maybe an F side, an E side. I get it. So, this Wilder Ruiz fight is very profitable for PBC as an organization. They're not going to let that go. That's their heavyweight fight. They're not going to let it go. They're going to fight each other. Now, who do I have winning? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that Andy Ruiz can take that shit that Deontay Wilder is giving out. I don't think he can take it like what Deontay Wilder is giving out. Because Ruiz, he needs to be on the inside to be effective. One thing we learned about Deontay Wilder, he has significant issues fighting on the inside, but Andy Ruiz is not the type of person that's going to rush Deontay Wilder. And if you try to box Deontay Wilder, what do we see happens? He lines you up with that jab, he pulls it out, and then he lets that bomb go. And it will go through the guard, and you ain't getting up unless you're Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury damn near died. I don't know. It's some questions. I don't think I'm not confident that Andy Ruiz can do it unless Deontay Wilder's just completely shot. I'm not confident that Andy Ruiz can do it. Remember, I keep using the same example about how, like, when Deontay Wilder hit Tyson Fury and the fucking fat, let me see if I can find the clip. And the fat, like he hit him in the head and then the fat, like, ripple. It started at his neck and then went down to his back, and you seen like the ripple effect. And once it hit his legs, he was finished. Let me see. Wilder, Fury. Let me see if I can find this clip. I don't think he can do it, bro. I think this is the clip right here. Like, I don't think he can do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to love the fight. Yes. I'm going to watch the fight. I'm going to cover the fight. It's going to be a big event, I'm guessing, knockdown. I expect the undercard to be showcase fights. How come this clip is so doggone hard to find? I'm finding all the clips of Deontay Wilder, Fury knocking out Wilder, but not that knockdown. And I'm not going to be searching forever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Oh, is this one? Watch this shit right here. Andy Ruiz can't take this. Look, and you see it? You see how it came down his fucking back? Andy Ruiz ain't eating that, bro. Watch that shit. Let's go full screen. Andy Ruiz, he not eating that. He can eat everything else. But his ass ain't eating this. Look at that. Look. Like, once he lines you up like that, and Andy Ruiz, even though he quick, but Andy Ruiz going to have to be real quick before this shit hit him. Look, legs just gave out. Shit's all fucked up. He don't know what the fuck is going on. And he's trying to act like he cool, but he wasn't. Like, how a drunk trying to walk home Like he gather himself. You know, that liquor hits you. You think, yeah, I got this shit. T-Street's been in. You like, yeah, I got it. Don't worry. And you're like, oh shit, you know what? I don't fucking got this shit. Let me grab something. Andrew Ruiz ain't doing it, bro. Andy ain't doing it. Andy ain't doing it. With that said, though, I did rate this card a 7 of 10. I did rate this card a 7 of 10. Rayo getting his ass knocked out. My bad, I was muted. Rayo getting his ass knocked out. That was, I had a question mark around Santos, but I didn't know that he was going to beat Rayo up like that. That's the type of ass whooping that's going to follow you for your career, and I hope that he comes back better off of that. As far as Isaac Cruz versus Ramirez, that was a squash match. Ramirez is a 126-pound fighter who moved up to 130, then up to 135. That was exactly what it was supposed to be for Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz don't get no stripes for that. Then you had Abner Maris. Abner Maris fought to a draw against Miguel Flores. You know what I thought it was? Abner Maris stamina. That rush showed up around like round 4 or 5 because he started dancing around and like he couldn't really hang in there. And please get that guy away from 135. This fight against Miguel Flores was at 135. And I'm guessing because of the 4+ year layoff, they didn't want him draining down to 130 for his first fight back. So they said, all right, 135, but he needs not to be at 135. But I still do think that Abner Maris has something to give. He's got to get his conditioning in order because even though it was a draw, like I said, you can see like, okay, he still got it. He can still compete at 130. But 135, no, stay the hell away. But he needs about a couple more fights before he really, really gets, like back into like the swing of things. Rayo Salim beat Mike Planella. That was on PBC on FS1. Mike Planella was ranked very highly by the WBO and ranked by all the sanctioning bodies. Rayo Salim, I would like to see him versus Stephen Fulton. If Stephen Fulton don't move up, because Stephen Fulton can't get an undisputed fight right now with WB IBF champion Marjan Akhmadaliev because he's dealing with a hand injury and may be out for at least 6 to 8 months. Joey Spencer, only 22 years old, 16-0 with 10 KOs. Or 15-0. Or was it 16-0? I don't remember. Even though I'm saying it right there, I don't know. I think it's 16-0 now after this fight. Yep, 16-0. But, he's not ranked anywhere, 22 years old, and you're wondering where, like, they're going to push him. It's like, okay, what are you doing with him? We keep seeing him on Fox. He fought on the Fox, Free TV Fox portion. So basically, let me explain how it went. It was really confusing. From 6 to 7 on YouTube, they had the early prelims. It was only one fight, Charles Martin versus Devin Vargas. From 7 p.m. to 8 p.m., they had PBC on FS1 prelims as well, early prelims again on FS1 between Rayo Salim and Mike Planella. Then on Free TV Fox from 8 to 9 p.m., they had Joey Spencer versus Kevin Sagado. It was weird, but I did watch all of the fights. I didn't cover, though, the Joey Spencer card because, frankly, I fell asleep at the desk. All right? But when you look at where... Put it this way, right now, if I was to rate the cards, like the fights that really meant something, it was the Rayo Salim fight because it's like, okay, it's time for him to step up. He's 32 years old, by the way. But Stephen Fulton, if you're really looking, unless he fight Brandon Figueroa again, who's now at 126, then it's like, who are you going to fight? And he's been fighting a lot of undefeated fighters. You see what I'm saying? But the Rayo Valenzuela fight, I'm wondering, you know, because he took an ass whooping. Like, you know, he don't get me wrong, he was able to drop Santos too, but it was clear that Santos was the harder puncher. And by the way, hey, listen, I didn't know Dominicans was doing it too, but without looking, how old would you think this guy is? Maybe it's the beard. You know, maybe he was one of them kids that had like a beard when he was like 14. You know, them high schoolers and shit, the middle schoolers. They be like, damn, man, they had a facial hair and shit. But he's supposed to be 22 years old. And when I was looking at him in the ring, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm going to try to believe you. But, you know, and in this day and age, going back to Rayo, in this day and age, fighters be taking their first loss real seriously. Did you notice how all these motherfuckers take a loss now? No disrespect, but they come back with all these mental health issues and shit and PTSD. You know, they like these fighters in this generation, they can't take a loss. So I'm just hoping that, you know, like, you know, and don't take no long layoff. Like, you still young, because this was supposed to be a fight that was supposed to get him a rating, a ranking. So he got to get back out there and get on the saddle and be like, all right, listen, you know, like, you know, we got knocked out. We got to improve on some things. And, you know, but I'll rate the card a 7 out of 10. It was, that was racist. Oh my God. That wasn't racist. I can't be racist. I'm half Hispanic and I'm half Irish and half black. I can't be racist. What are you talking about? That don't work. And I'm going to identify as being a liberal. How about that? Now I can't get in no trouble. I'm going to identify as being a liberal. As soon as I get into some shit, I'm going to be like, Black Lives Matter. BLM. Let me stop joking. That's some bullshit. But yeah, man, let me get up out of here. I'm going to be covering the shit out of Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields card this weekend. Their press conference is going to be on Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. So I'm going to be here covering the press conference if you guys are going to be up early. And then I'm definitely covering UFC 279 this weekend. Take your time out. Like the video, subscribe. I'm T Street Controversy with Fight View 360. Also, download my Fight View 360 boxing podcast. Follow and leave a rating. The link is right at the top of the chat. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.